Well, Brother Hashim Badaat, you talked about checks and balances, you talked about finances. If we look at it in the community, finances is still a big issue. When people talk about ISGH, they still think ISGH is not very transparent with their finances. How would you change that since you already had one chance? What are your goals to change that for your next term?
Uh, you address the specific issue of finances. Well, let me give you the problems which are in the area from ground level. The ground level, the problem is money has been collected, and once the money is collected, this has to be written down piece by piece. That how much, three people signs it, then it has to deposit it in a bank. Once it deposits in a bank, it comes to the main center into that certain account, which is belong to that masjid, and that masjid may have five different accounts. One is a construction account, one is a journal account, one is a sadaqah, one is a zakat. So this money get distributed into all of that according to what the associate director of that masjid has designated. Sometimes we have a break in between, and that causes a problem. Our computerized and finance system has been very, very old. We have been still until last year using the servers. So we engage the group of IT group, and Alhamdulillah, they have been able to come up with the system. And then we are also went to cloud now.
Okay.
And we are trying to streamline our financial system. It's very easy for people to say, but if they could specifically come and say this is the issue occurring here, then we can probably address it. But generally, okay, I'm not tall, I'm short, my color is dark, not. I mean, it has to be very specific in that. But as probably you heard, that three positions which we need in the main center. One is a controller, and the controller is not a finance elected official. Controller is a CPA who is certified, and whatever he says that, and we need the controller. And to do the more transparency, every center, we have 19 center, should be audited every year for every penny which we have collected in there.
But Brother Hashim Badat, I mean, if you read the bylaws, there is clearly says you have internal audit, you should have external audit. How come those things are not being implemented, or is that just being disregarded, or are we just starting from scratch again to do that?
I think the bylaws and policy, what mentions about we do audit, but that happens once a year on a gross scale. The issues and the problems is this was written when we have two masjid. Now we have 19 centers, and each center is a lot bigger than those starting out masjid. And our
So हाशिम दा सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू, तो आपको लगता है कि जो बायलॉज हैं वो इस वक्त की करंट आईएसजीएच के लिहाज से सही नहीं है, आप उसको चैलेंज करते हैं?
Yes, I believe that, and I keep saying that I think in order for us to be bringing the Constitution and bylaws, we need to address that issue with the people who are expert in that area. And that's one of the things which I did last year, is to put the term limits of 10 years. That if I serve 10 years, I'm out for the rest of my life. I cannot. And for associate director, it's a 6 years. Okay, so after 6 years, they cannot run back again for this ever. So that had put a little bit unease in the community, obviously, and the other changes, which is in a group of youth group, that is also didn't go as smoothly as I thought, that people will accept this with an open arm, that we need to develop the khatib. In the first batch of young khatib, we send them for the training. They came back, and now inshallah we will be replacing that. So systematically we have to go slowly, one step at a time, see the changes occur or not, see the change we made, is it making the impact or not. You ask another question, is it 2 years long enough? I was a vice president for 4 years. When I took the president position, first it took me 6 months to just figure out why we have this many lawsuits. So it is not because of the lack of the policies, it's lack of following the policies.
ओके लेकिन वो पॉलिसीज को फॉलो भी तो आईएसजीएच की मैनेजमेंट नहीं करना था, तो क्या हम पुरानी मैनेजमेंट को किसी तनकीद का निशाना बना सकते हैं कि उन्होंने इसमें क्या किया? किसी का तो मिसिंग था ना सर, मतलब छुरी खरबूजे पे गिरी है, खरबूजा छुरी पे, नुकसान तो खरबूजे का ही हुआ, एंड ऑफ द डे कम्युनिटी का लॉस था.
No, I think I see it differently. I see the mistake in a crisis point is a turn point for us. Every time we have a crisis, we learn something, which we probably were taking it as a norm, and we will keep going it. And maybe this is what shook us up and showed that this is not the right thing to do. Now, the other problem in this area, the management, we do not have any orientation for the people who are coming in the positions. So sometimes they don't understand the procedures and policies, or they're not capable of reading those, or they're not adamant that we won't follow these, we follow that. Because my center, my community wants this. And that puts me, and the executive body, and the shura in confrontation. So I have to step in a lot of time, and I have to address that issue and try to explain it in a way that, okay, we're moving forward with these, and now it has to be. And one example I'll give you, that all contract has to be signed by the president. Okay, very good policy. You agree? Okay, do you expect me to understand every contract which come in front of me? So I have to have an expert who look at that. This is one part of my previous job was where I made my living. I have architect, civil engineer, attorney. I have electrical engineer, control engineer. I have a whole group of people who are experts in threads on the nuts and bolts. So if I need the information, I have available. And the issue is, a lot of our mindset is we do not want to spend any money hiring the professionals. I'm pouring out my, and I had to convince that we have to, as big as the organization, either the executive body or the shura cannot execute the policies. We have to have a professional to manage this whole huge organization.
Got it.
So I think I started out with hiring one as we hired Isa Galway, and he did a very, very good job, alhamdulillah, but he has another opportunity in Tennessee, and his family wanted to move, so he moved. But inshallah, I think we are hiring a controller. He will be independent, and he is going to be the one who is looking after the finance. We have a group of 3 young people who are CPAs, who are the one, as an independent committee, who are advising on how to develop the whole finance system so it could be transparent. So that is the one. So just to outline and bring the people and the vendors and interview them, it took quite a long time.
Well, Hashim, Badaat, what is one accomplishment that you are proud of from your first term?
Well, first, I'd like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that it gave me an opportunity to practice my knowledge, which I have acquired over 65 years of my age. Went to several colleges, and was able to use it for the community's sake. I have always worked with one organization or another, either volunteer or either in some capacity. And inshallah, if Allah's not willing for me to be at the position, I'll still be working for ISGH, inshallah. Whatever the responsibility be called on, I will be there to follow whoever is there, inshallah.
इंशाल्लाह. वेल ब्रदर हाशिम बदात, जिस तरह आपने तमाम फाइनेंसेस बताए, प्रोसीजर्स बताए कि कितने लोगों के साइन होते हैं, क्या होता है, ISGH ओवरऑल एक वेल्दी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है. आप एग्री करते हैं इससे?
I don't know how you define the wealthy, but ISGH, let me give you some short breakdown of that. The amount of money which are all collected is being collected in the centers, and they are the owner of that money. There's certain percent of fees they pay for the main center, where we'll do the things, centralize the checks and all that. And depending on what area the center is, they depend on the constituency of the area, how rich, how good they're operating, how good their associate director is. That's how that center is wealthy. For example, we have a center in the Masjid Mariam. That's a wealthy area. It's good. They have money extra in their account. We have Champion. They have money. Adel Road. They have money. Now take it, for example, we have Southeast, where we don't have that capacity in the finance building. So what are the problems that are occurring? And we try to tweak those things to see if we could raise that.
तो जो एक्स्ट्रा मनी होता है फिर वो हम किसी फॉरेन नॉन प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अस्पताल के चंदे में $10,000 $20,000 अक्सर दे देती है, ये वो कैसे जस्टिफाई होता है?
जब से मैं आया हूँ, we have stopped actually giving any money.
तो पहले जो दिए जा रहे थे आपके ख्याल में
I
गलत
was
थे?
not there.
But do you think कि जो पहले दिए गए वो गलत थे या ठीक थे?
I don't know what the circumstances and situation was that. Sometimes what happens, and like आप आते हैं और आप मुझसे कहते हैं कि ये organization है, I know them from bottom of my heart, they're doing a good work, and I have 5 people who are going to collect $15,000 and give it to you. Would you be giving to that organization? Based on that, how much input they have on our organization, with our organization, and how much we check their 501c, they check they are registered in the United States, we check all the their backgrounds, and if the money is coming from there, then we, especially in this, this Third Parker case, when it came, some people, Kashmir, we just gave the money to the Kashmir. They said, I want this money to be designated to this. Now, they don't designate what organization should go. They said if this is for hospital, then for Pakistan and hospital, if we have an account, that money should go there. We should not touch it.
ठीक है, उस वक्त की शूरा ने जो भी डिसीजन बनाए, ऑफ कोर्स किसी ग्राउंड पे बनाए, किसी चीज़ की इम्पोर्टेंस को देखते हुए बनाए, फाइन. लेकिन हमें ये भी पता है कि स्कूल चलाने के लिए एक बहुत हैंडसम अमाउंट चाहिए होता है. हम यूएसए में प्राइवेट स्कूल्स का अगर हम देखें तो फीस स्ट्रक्चर सबका ही ज़्यादा होता है और आईएसजीएच का भी ज़्यादा है। आईएसजीएच के मातहत चलने वाले जो स्कूल की फीसेस हैं, अगर एक एवरेज आप पाकिस्तानी हिंदुस्तानी फैमिली में देखें तो 2 से 3 बच्चे होते हैं। अगर तीनों बच्चों को कोई इस्लामिक स्कूल में पढ़ाना चाहे मुतवसत गरीब तबके का आदमी, तो वो नहीं पढ़ा सकता। आपको
मैं
नहीं
आपको
लगता?
जवाब दूं इसके?
मैं बिल्कुल
मैं भूल जाऊंगा पहला पहला
चलिए आप
क्वेश्चन
फरमाइए।
आपका। नहीं, ऐसा आई डोंट थिंक ये आप जो कह रहे हैं कि वो नहीं पढ़ा सकता। अगर the person who has the 3 kids, if he can prove that his income is at this level, then ISGH from the school funds provide the rest of the fee.
Okay.
And that is not, I mean, we are doing it right now in several schools.
वेल ख़वातीन साहब, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट कह रहे हैं। बहुत सारे लोगों को ये कन्फ्यूजन है कि आईएसजीएच के स्कूल्स की फ़ीस ज़्यादा होती है और जिनके 2-3 बच्चे हैं वो अपने बच्चों को स्कूल में नहीं पढ़ा सकते। ये प्रेसिडेंट साहब की तरफ से बड़ा स्ट्रेट ओपन स्टेटमेंट है कि अगर आप के 2 से 3 बच्चे हैं और आप प्रूफ करते हैं कि आपकी इनकम इतनी नहीं है कि आप स्कूल में पढ़ा सकें, तो उसके लिए आईएसजीएच के पास एक सॉफ्ट पैकेज, एक ऐसा मुतबादिल रास्ता मौजूद है जिससे आप अपने बच्चों को इस्लामिक स्कूल में पढ़ा सकते हैं। प्लीज़।
वेल ब्रदर हाशिम बदात, थोड़ा सा फाइनेंसेस को हम छोड़ते हैं और दूसरी तरफ आते हैं। यूथ की हमेशा हम बात करते हैं माशाल्लाह से, और हमेशा वी टॉक अबाउट द फ्यूचर जनरेशन। हमने देखा है कि हमारी यूथ जो है वो इतनी ज़्यादा इंटीग्रेटेड नहीं है ना। आई थिंक दैट्स वन ऑफ द गोल्स दैट यू हैव टू इंटीग्रेट आवर यूथ। क्या प्लान है, क्या प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं आपके पास यूथ के लिए, एंड हाउ वुड यू हैव देम इंटीग्रेटेड विद आईएसजीएच?
जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया कि in order for bring about this change, it is actually a cultural change, and it has to be systemic. Towards that, what we have done initially is the limitation on the associate director. The next, inshallah, we'll try is we will try to put on more limits. I don't want to actually say that it's premature right now, but what I have in mind that every level, from associate director, which is controls the center, to the shura level, to the executive body level, there has to be certain age limit. I mean, not everybody will agree with me, but I'm 65, and I believe that there has to be certain limit. After that, a person of that age should not run for that position. And there is several reasons. I'm, alhamdulillah, financially independent. I'm free of any more burdens of the family burdens or any of that, and I'm good and healthy. But I still believe that the age catches up with you, and the position requires tremendous amount of time. It is the commitment. It's not a compliance. It's a commitment you need. And another thing is you have to be financially independent. And the third is you have to be very, very sincere and willing to serve, nothing else, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to gain the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and nothing else. So I think it's a very important from that perspective. We can put the soft programs, but I do not believe that the soft programs will work. We have to force this issue of bylaws and a constitution change to make those changes. And I think from a zonal council to the associate director to the director level, there has to be very strict age limit and qualifications that nobody can touch this unless you are, if you're about this age. Now, this sounds like what do you call a prejudice towards the old people, but I think that we need to put that, and that's the only way, because I really believe that there is a lot of youth who would like to come and serve the organization. I had met with the groups. They're professional, very well educated, very honest. But because of some of these limitations, which we need to remove these restrictions and make it easier for them to step in and allow them to make mistakes, because this is what the biggest part of the problem is. If one youth make one mistake, everybody gets on. So I think we have to allow them to make those mistakes, and inshallah they will sharpen as they go along. And I have seen that, and I give you the example of the main center. I have seen, alhamdulillah, I had it for 1 year. I gave it to youth, and they are running 100 times better than what I could have run that center. They're well fit for that.
Well, I hope कि youth ISGH के अंदर पे positive role play करे और कुछ मसाजिद को भी अपने असूलों पे नज़रसानी करने की ज़रूरत है। कम से कम जमात के टाइम पे बास्केटबॉल कोर्ट्स बंद होने चाहिए। वेल, एक सॉफ्ट स्वीट सिंपल येस और नो आंसर वाला क्वेश्चन, अगर आप प्रेसिडेंट के लिए ना खड़े हो रहे होते
जी,
MJ खान को वोट करते?
मैं आपको मैं आपको बताता हूँ इसके. I don't know, you guys follow the social media and whatnot. I don't know, you read my daughter's comment. She voted against me in the last. Her reasons are that I should not run. I should spend more time with them. They're all married. I mean, they have the kids in the high school, but they are that why when there's such a backlash and people badmouth all use think and sleep with it, and your walls are plastered with the papers with writings on it. Why? And I don't find any justification for not doing it.
Okay.
I really, I mean, what if all this mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which has given to me is because of that? If it's taken away,
well, I'm sure.
Then I'll be going back to work.
I'm sure कि सुनने वाले इस डॉज को समझ गए होंगे. Well, आपको ये पता है कि ISGH से बहुत सारे लोग नाराज भी हैं. अगर आप इस बात को मानते हैं, तो उन नाराज लोगों को रेडियो ने अंदाज के इस माइक से क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे? मतलब सिंपल सी बात है कि बहुत सारे लोग शायद ISGH से नाराज भी हैं. उन नाराज लोगों को आप क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे?
अगर जो लोग मुझसे नाराज हैं, तो मैं उनसे अगर कोई गलती हुई है मुझसे, तो उसकी मैं माफ़ी चाहता हूँ. I always believe that courtesy before the service. Whatever you do in a boardroom is not outside. When you deal with the constituency and the people, we are the servant leaders. We're not, a leader in a political sense. We are caretakers. And after 2 years, somebody else will come, and they will, inshallah, do the good job. And if it is because of some of the policies and the issues which has tackled, the ISGS has tackled, and then I think they have to address those. I have to address those specifically. What were those issues and why the decisions were made as they were made? Because I cannot fault the previous shuras for making the decisions. Because sometimes I would take something out of context. Because what are the circumstances going on at that time, and what was their thought process was, what information or input data they received to making that to reaching that conclusion, and then they unanimously made the decision. I believe that every time they will make a decision is not always going to be correct, but it is good to go over it once in a while and see if we made that decision. Was it right or not? And if it's not, I mean, up front, you should go and say, okay, let's check this and make a change.
Excellent. Well, आखिर में हाशिम बदात साहब, रेडियो ने अंदाज़ के सैकड़ों लिसनर्स जो आपको सुन रहे हैं, ISGH के मेंबर्स जो इस वक्त आपको सुन रहे हैं, उनको आप आखिर में क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे?
मैं उनको ये मैसेज देना चाहूँगा कि ISGH आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है. It is community organization, and please participate in our organization, good, bad, or indifferent. It's been there for 40 years. I'm the product of that organization. I grew up in that organization from day one, and there is hundreds of people like me who are in the Houston, and they are thankful for the people who have put this organization together in whatever form is. I think it is not my job to fault them or to fault the previous shuras. It's my job to see where we are and how we can move forward from where we are to be more fitting to the current demographic and the community, and how we bring them all together. And I will request the Muslim brothers and sisters that please participate in any capacity, doesn't matter what capacity, participate in and be a member of the ISGH as a Muslim.
वेल ख़वातीन हज़रात, ISGH में पार्टिसिपेट कीजिए. आपको अच्छी लगे, भली लगे, बुरी लगे, आपकी वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो शायद परदेश में अखलाकियात कहीं भटक ना जाएं, खो ना जाएं, उसको संभाल के रखने के लिए हमें तहज़ीबों की इस तकरार में अपने बच्चों की, अपने नस्ल की यकीनन कहीं ना कहीं एक ज़िंदगी के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हम इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की अम्ब्रेला में आएँ. बात यह है कि घर बैठ के तनकीद का निशाना बनाना बहुत आसान है, बहुत इजी होता है कि आप किसी पे फिंगर पॉइंटिंग करें, लेकिन ISGH हमारी अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, हमारी मसाजिद, हमारा फ्यूचर इससे जुड़ा है. आप तमाम लोगों को रेडियो नया अंदाज़ के पैनल से हम इस बात की आगाही देंगे, वोट ज़रूर कीजिए, ज़रूर जाइए, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का हिस्सा बने. कुछ गैर मुनासिब लगे तो आखिर को हमें ही उसको ठीक करना है. बातें यकीनन बहुत बड़ी बड़ी की जा सकती हैं, लेकिन इस गुफ्तगू में जो एक सबक, एक बात, एक रिक्वेस्ट, एक आजमाइश है कि थोड़ा सा अपने कंफर्ट जोन से निकलिए, कम्युनिटी के लिए, अपने दीन के लिए, अपने मज़हब के लिए, अपनी कौम के लिए आके वॉलंटियर कीजिए और ISGH का पार्ट बनिए. वेल, चलते चलते आखिर में अनवर मकसूद साहब की एक खूबसूरत बात के साथ हम गुफ्तगू ख़त्म करेंगे कि किसी ने पूछा कि ये इलेक्शन में लीडरों को कैसे चुनना चाहिए, तो बहुत सिंपल था, जैसे अकबर ने अनारकली को चुना.